Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Brush Tips with Cheri. Today we're doing a special painting for Memorial Day. And here it is. We've got this nice, this rustic farmhouse flag. I really love to do a flag rustic style. I think that that's very trendy right now. So I think that it just makes it look awesome. And you get to be super unique with it. So if you like the bright, vibrant colors, then definitely keep those. But I love the rustic look. So let's get started. We have some pretty basic colors here. We have white, red, blue, which I use a phthalo blue and a bright red. Then I also added a little gold, which isn't on our paint sheet there. And I also added a little burnt umber there. So it's like a raw sienna gold and a burnt umber. All right. So first we are going to start with the blue because I want that to dry right away because I'm going to add the stars over it. So you can make this any way that you want. If you want to make it a full flag like this and come up here with the blue, you can definitely do that. Or if you want to make it a little bit stronger angle, you can do that for sure. So this is totally up to you how you make your flag. I'm going to scoop up some of this blue here, and I am just going to start adding it on here. And this is just that phthalo blue, that real nice dark blue. And don't forget about your sides and your tops. We know whenever I forget about them and then I hang them up, it does get pointed out. So this is one of my favorite paintings. Usually when I do flags, I always make them very rustic looking. Now again, you don't have to. I have a really nice fireman policeman one too that I make, and that one I do rustic, but I do that one in black and white, and it's really pretty. You'll have to look on our web page or on our Facebook page to see what that one looks like, but it's super awesome. And I really love the rustic look. Last year I did my whole front porch in red, white, and blue, and it turned out really pretty. I had a nice bandana flag that I made. It was really neat. So once you get all that blue on there, we're going to want this to dry. We don't have to be perfect with our lines because we want this to look faded because it's rustic, it's antique. All right, clean off that blue really good. It gets deep into those bristles, so we want to clean that off really good. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop up some red, and I'm going to pick, I'm only going to do 2 lines. Obviously, if it was a bigger canvas, you could do 3 or 4 lines, but I'm only going to pick 2 on this smaller canvas. And all I'm going to do is just start where I think I might want them, okay? And again, if you love the darker, brighter colors, you don't have to make this rustic at all. You can just make this so that it's bright, bold colors. And just keep going straight down. You see how I'm not lifting my brush? Just going straight down. So I'm sure everyone did a lot of great things for Memorial Day. I think it really just kicks off summer. It gives us a chance to like relax and reflect on why our country is the way that it is and how we're free, and it's just super awesome to be able to share that moment with my kids. It's fun. We did a lot of yard work. We went and ran a memorial race in the morning, but other than that, it was all yard work. But it was a good time. We had fun. We really enjoyed just listening to the different speeches around the community too, watching the different parades honoring those people. So once you get those on there and you like how thick they are, leave them be. We're going to go into the white. If you want them to be a little bit thicker, just bring your brush down next to it. You want it to even up with the white, make the white and the red look about the same thickness. Oh my goodness, you know what I just forgot? The bottom. You can always take a ruler too. If you feel like your lines aren't straight, you can take a ruler. And remember, I'm painting to the side here, so if my lines aren't straight, it's because I'm going in at an angle. But do what I always tell you to do, take a step back. Every artist always takes a step back and looks at their work. Yeah, I'm a little crooked. It's all right though. We're gonna just play with this here. Plus we're gonna bring in some brown, and I'm gonna run just a real light little bit into the white because I want this to look faded. So I want the ends to look a little faded. Oops, I went a little overboard there into the blue. I'm gonna clean off my brush again, stand my painting back up. Got a little red over here, but that's okay. I love red and blue make purple, and purple is my favorite color, so I love when I make this combo because my water's purple. So I don't like to leave a blank canvas. Even though it looks like it's been painted, it hasn't, so I'm just gonna add some white. I want the paint to be on there, so obviously it doesn't have to be perfect, but definitely fill that in with some white. Fill this little middle guy in with some white. And you see how I had a little bit of red on my brush? That's okay. Whoa, I almost scooped up red. Just cover it up with some white. There we go. Then the next spot right here. So that's your basic, really simple, easy flag. If you love these bright, bold colors, again, just kind of play around with them, make the lines a little straighter. You can also take a tiny, tiny little bit of blue, very, very, very tiny. And I forgot to explain which brushes we were using today. I just realized it. So I just have a tiny little bit of blue on my brush, and I'm just going to add just a little hint. You see I'm bringing it over like this, scraping it off. I'm actually going to clean my brush now. You hear that water slushing? And just tiny, see, look, I have way too much. It's all right. Just kind of blend this up into here. Clean some of that blue off the brush. It's all right. We're just going to add a little blue through here. Barely any, okay? It just kind of adds a little character to the flag. Makes it look a little bit more antiqued. There we go. Clean off the white, just whatever's left on my brush that's white. Just gonna feather on here. We'll bring that back, that blue a little bit darker back. Clean off my brush really good. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna grab some of this brown. So I have two different ones here. I have some of this goldish raw sienna color and this burnt umber color, and just real lightly pull some through here. Just to add that rustic, antiqued look. I love when I'm able to find a good antiqued flag. There's just amazing looking flags. I think that there's so much great history in the flag, and when you find one that's a little weathered, it just tells you a really nice story. Here's some of that gold. I'm just going to add some of this gold up here. Kind of play around with this brown through the red. Have your flag tell a story. Maybe you have a grandfather or brother or cousin or friend who has a really war story. I don't even want to say good one because I'm sure they're not, but have your flag tell that story. Swishing around my water again. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch to our little round brush. This is the one that we normally use. We just got done with that Big Daddy brush. He does a lot of work for us, so we've put him back in his little jacuzzi tub over there. And what I'm going to do with this brown is I'm just going to make a little bit thicker line through here, through the red, just to separate those colors. Real softly. Just go soft. So this is also can be displayed all year round, of course. Another great time to display it, 4th of July. There's lots of great times throughout the summer that you can pull this painting out and hang it up. Or leave it up all year, because this is just a great, great painting. Pull some of these browns, some of this gold, add a little gold over here. You see how I just kind of fade it into the red? It just pulls it through a little bit. Put a little bit in here before I start to add. Oh, I love this gold color. Before I start to put the stars on. Let this dry a little. All right, then I'm going to take this brown again, and I just want to add a couple little more defined. I'm just letting my hand be a little shaky here. Okay, just some little more definition where this flag is telling some stories. Bring the painting alive. There we go, perfect. I'm digging it, loving it. I also see, you know what I see? I see a little bit more red in that white. So I'm just gonna take my brush, dry it off really, really good. Take a tiny, tiny little brush, a little bit on this Big Daddy brush here, just real lightly. You can even blend it out with your finger. Just add just a little bit more darker red to some of this. And you can even pull some up here. Now, if you don't like the red into the white, you don't have to do that. You can definitely just leave it white with the browns. Or if you really, really like it there, but you want it faded, you can always cover it back up with a little bit of white. And it's just going to give you more pop with that brighter white. There we go, perfect. There was a really, really good speech yesterday where we were at. One of the announcers was doing a really nice Memorial Day speech. Usually we go to a Memorial Day parade and there's really nice speakers there also. Perfect. Yay, I'm loving this. Make sure my sides are done. Perfect. Now let's do this. The stars. The stars are kind of tricky. If you are nervous about doing the stars, you can definitely get a star stencil, or you can chalk them on first if you need to. Or, actually, you know what? Do I have chalk? I do have chalk. So we'll chalk these on first and show you how to play around with that chalk. I love chalking on a canvas because it takes a little bit of the pressure off. So if you wanted to put 3 stars, you could definitely put 3 stars. If you want to put 4 or 5 stars, just go a little bit smaller with the stars, okay? So I'm going to come in at an angle, and I'm going to actually make a star here. And I would suggest you make a good old-fashioned star first, okay? Like that. Just like that. See, now I feel like they're too spread out. So good thing I did pick to do the chalk. Let's clean off our brush real good. Watch how this magic trick works right here. Pretty cool, huh? This guy's too big. That was the issue. Then I'm going to come in with my paper towel and dry them off a little bit. You hear that? Rubbing on the canvas. All right. Let's start with the smaller ones down here first. Well, I don't want to say smaller. They're kind of big now. We could just do a half of one right here. Do half. How about that? Give it a little extra character, right? It's hard coming in at an angle on this. Make sure that they're straight. Do you hear me drawing on it? Ah, look, they're touching now. I should have gone in freehand. It's all right. Okay. I'm just going to redo them again. All right, dry this. Try it. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't go so big. Maybe I should add 3 here to kind of even it out. Then we can add 2 here, but we'll do a half of one. Perfect. Perfect, right there. That's what I needed. All right, so see how chalk works? I love it. So take your little round brush and round it off into your paint like this. And then just start painting those guys. Color them in. Now don't go crazy. Don't go real crazy dark with the paint because we're going to rustic them up, all right? So we want them to look a little rustic. Right here. Doo, doo, doo. So next week I'm hoping to have a special guest on the show, so you'll have to tune in for that. Last week when we had Joanna on, that was so fun. We painted some birch trees. Then next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to paint yet. So if you have any ideas, shoot me a message. You can go to Brush Tips Facebook page. Shoot me a message. And we have our parade details too. We're going to do that blue tip parade. So that's going to be fun. We're going to be making some real special, nice announcements on what we're doing for our blue tip parade. And it's going to be fun. That's what summer is about, right? Parades, water parks. I think we're going to make it a hiking season for the boys and I. We're going to hit a couple different parks and go hiking. So that way we aren't sitting at home all day. I start to work at home and then I get lost in my work because it's super easy to get lost in a painting. And I feel like, oh man, we didn't do anything. All I did was paint all day. So that is my plan this summer, is to hit a few parks. So if you have any that you know of in Ohio, shoot me a message and let me know too, because we'll drive there. I think they'll have a really good time. just seeing the outdoors. There we go. Perfect. I love it. And you can always come back in and play around with them a little bit if they're not to your liking. If you have a stencil, definitely use that if you are more comfortable. This was a pretty easy painting because it's pretty basic shapes, you know. And I'm coming in at an angle, so I'm hoping these are kind of straight, right? I don't want them to look too off. Can't really see at this angle, but it'll be okay. Take a step back, right? And check it out. Yeah, that one on the far right is a little big, but that's okay. We'll just rustic these guys up here. Make this guy a little bigger. Add a little extra white in the middle. And just keep playing around until you get what you're happy with. All right, check it out. Good? So now comes the fun part, is like making these look a little extra rustic, right? Let's clean that Big Daddy brush off again. We'll give them a second to dry. You know what we'll do? We'll take some more of this brown here, and we'll add a little bit more brown to the bottom, because I really like the brown through the red and the way that it's looking. So I'm just gonna add some more brown along these sides here. Break up some of this real defined lines, just so that they don't have to be perfectly straight, you know? And I'm gonna add just a little bit of brown onto this part here. And very, 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 very lightly, I'm going over my stars, but barely touching my canvas here. I don't want to cover those stars up. Actually, I'll pull a little gold in there. I don't want to cover the stars completely, but I do want to make them look rustic. I want to make my flag look weathered. I want it to tell a good story. Here we go. I could just sit there and like watch or listen to history. Oh my gosh, forever. I just love the stories behind things. I love looking at old pictures of buildings. It's one of my favorite things to do. Is just imagining, like imagine Wadsworth when they first started and the buildings first started going up and people walking around the city in the same spots that we walk around in, the things that they got to do and that then we get to do, and it's just a really, really good time, like just trying to think of the great things that they did. I know it's goofy that I'm like that, but I love it. All right, so I think I want to pull just a little teaser bit of blue down here, just real softly, just brushing some of this blue into here. I love the blue. Down through here like this, okay? Now you can also do this on wood or slate tile. Nobody said you had to do it on canvas. So if you have something else that you want to paint it on, please do so. Man, I love this flag. This is looking fantastic. There we go. How's it looking? You can always come back later and play around with it, clean it up, or even add a little bit more to it. Let me get that little round brush again. Just gonna add a little tiny bit of gold around these stars. Make it look like they were outlined in gold. I love it. And then that'll be our little finishing touch right there. Just do this. And then, of course, because we're all super amazing, awesome artists, we are going to put our little signature on here, right? Oh my gosh, yes, I'm totally loving the gold outline. I think it breaks it down, makes it look a little more rustic, and also gives it a nice little pizzazz, right? Brings that painting alive. Clean off my brush a little, this gold. Gold, gold, gold. I love gold. I have gold in a lot of my paintings, I know. All right, so now I'm gonna take the bottom. Let's see, oh, we have a little, I'm gonna do it in blue. So just roll your little tiny brush, or you can get a Sharpie. All you're gonna do is initial. There we go. And then you have your completed painting. So thank you again for tuning in. And please, if you have any suggestions, shoot us a message because we would love to hear from you. We want to paint what you want to paint. So give us a message and let us know what you would like to see on the show. Thanks again for watching.